Come on in. Am I on time today? Y'all know I'm always late. Who's in here already? CPC Matt. Hey, darling. Yeah, I've come a long way, huh, Matt? You've been here since my very first video. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I remember the day I did that video, and I did it actually, Matt. I did it specifically for me because when I had been thinking about that experience, and I said, you know what, it sounds crazy to me as I'm thinking about it. So I said, I'm going to just videotape myself telling the story, and I'm going to play it back to myself to see if it really sounds as crazy as it sounds in my head. And before I knew it, a little voice said, "Post it," and I did. And I tried like 3 or 4 hours to figure out how to get it back out of YouTube land, and I couldn't. Woke up the next morning and it had a whole bunch of people that had viewed it. Yeah, so that was the catalyst to this whole journey. But that's cool. You've been here since the first one, huh? I have come a long way from that experience to um thinking I was a born again Christian. Then I was a black Hebrew Israelite, and a whole bunch of different things. And now I'm just still seeking the truth, no matter what the cost is. And I'm coming to the realization that we may not ever know 100% the truth. And I kind of thought about that too. What would it? Okay, I'm searching and I'm searching and I'm searching, and once I find it, then what else I'm gonna do after after I figure it out? And it kind of makes sense. There's so many different scenarios of what is really going on um, with us, but everything in my core tells me that everything that is going on has happened before, and it's just repeating itself over and over and over. It's like a loop, boop, boop, just like a loop going round and round. Some of us, perhaps in the plan, someplace that we were going to awaken at a certain time. Uh, there's something in the matrix that we see something or hear something, or something would activate us into realizing that we're recognizing that something is going on, and maybe that is the awakening itself, is just recognizing that something is going on. And then you hear the Bible again speaking about um I just got a message just now that just made me very, very happy that popped in. And if you're watching, hi, I'm watching you. Hi. um I lost my train of thought. Oh Lord. Anyway, about where I'm going with this is the Messiah. Is it the Messiah that's coming back? Or is it the Elohim that's coming back, return of the gods? Or could it be the return of the Christ within us? The Savior that we're looking for is us. And in the description, I put a whole bunch of different videos, and these are all videos that I watched, plus a lot more. But those are the ones that I wanted specifically to put in the description for you guys to view as you have time, so you have some idea of what I'm trying to convey to you, that I resonate with so strongly in these videos. So when you get a chance, watch those if you haven't already watched them. It gives of how I'm come to this conclusion again about this is not about God and worshiping God the way he wants us to for our salvation. And it is these extraterrestrial or interrestrial beings that have been controlling this whole mess. Now, I don't know how they got control, and if the whole Inky enlil and the genetic modification, I don't know if all of that is all correct, but I'm leaning more toward there's something to that. I think that there were several races of people or types of beings that were created. And I guess I mentioned this before about the Elohim. What if it was like cat people and bull people and dog people and reptilian people, or dragon people, different types of beings. And they all created beings according to their image, possibly. I don't know. I don't know. But there is something to there being different creation stories and different beings being created. There is something to that, especially with everything that's being unearthed now, like in Antarctica. They're finding bones. And not only Antarctica, they're finding bones everywhere, even in Missouri. Here in Missouri, they found giants' bones here in Missouri. Wouldn't that be something? I'm sitting on my front porch, just rocking in my chair, and then I hear like trees crashing. And I look back, because I live in the forest, and I look back and I'm seeing trees being snapped like matches. Can you imagine what it would have been like to be an average sized human and to have these Nephilim giants coming through the trees, coming to have a little snacky snack? Yeah. So they're saying that the extraterrestrials, and that absolutely cannot be true. So where them bones come from? Why did our ancestors etch things in stone about these giant beings with 6 fingers and 6 toes? And not only in the Americas, that they in the, what is it, the Hopi, or is it the Navajo? Some of the Native American tribes speak about the beings that came from above and these giants. And that's how they got the whole thing about when they would meet people, they would, I don't know if that's true or not, but they would put their hands up and go, how? Because they want to see how many fingers you got. You got 5, or you got what was the other finger be? As the other finger. You got another you got another finger? Now I don't know if that's true, but that would make sense. How? Okay, you good. You good, you got 5 fingers. Yeah. And then to those who control the history pretty much control everything. And as the ice sheets are melting and we're finding civilizations under the water, under layers and layers and layers of sediment, some from natural occurrences and some that seem like they were deliberately buried to be hidden. Makes even more sense to me that these Anunnaki beings, whatever they were, and I don't call them just Anunnaki, it's just the Anunnaki means the beings that came from above. It doesn't mean the whole Anunnaki race. Anunnaki, understand, means the beings that came from above. But it could be all kinds of, it could be a gray, it could be a Draco, it could be a Naga, it could be a Palladian, it could be what I think it's called an Edwardian. There's a whole bunch of different types of species and races and whatever. too much more information is coming out, where more and more people are coming out and speaking about their experiences with these beings from years and years ago, but they've been afraid to say anything because they'd be labeled as cuckoo. And most of them are labeled as cuckoo. Do I think they're cuckoo? No. Do I think I'm cuckoo? No. But I started thinking about that. I don't think I'm cuckoo. I know that I'm not cuckoo. But then I started thinking, do cuckoo people really know if they cuckoo or not? So if you cuckoo, you're not going to think you cuckoo. Y'all know what I'm saying. That sounds crazy, don't it? But you know what I'm talking about. But again, the things that I talk about and the where my mind goes now, I would have thought myself was cuckoo like 6-7 years ago. But it's a whole different ball game now. Then too, there's another video that I put in there. What is his name? David Vos. And he speaks about the blue lotus. And I watched that video, and then I'm looking at these paintings and things etched in stone in ancient Egypt, and there's a whole bunch of goddesses and pharaohs and demigods and things. Everybody holding the blue lotus flower with their nose deep in it, sniffing this blue lotus. And I never did any research on the blue lotus. So I did a little bit of research on the blue lotus, and the blue lotus flower was used and is still used today. It has medicinal properties in it, but a lot of people use lotus flower because it causes you to have hallucinations. And then there was something, again, that's why I put the description in the description so you can watch the video. But the priest and the goddesses were instructed to perform these rites and use not only cannabis, but the blue lotus flower and wine. But there was a specific way that you were supposed to mix it in portions and whatever. And it had to be cooked or boiled a certain way. But once you took this elixir, it caused you to, what I'm surmising is it caused your third eye to open and you were 100% enlightened. And that is the way you open your Christ crown, is by using this elixir. Now, I'm going to do some research on this. It has piqued my interest, so I'm going to check that out and see what's going on with that. Is this part of the hidden knowledge that that Yeshua shared with his disciples, and it wasn't shared with everyone? Could it be? Could it be? That's pretty much all I wanted to kind of talk about. That's enough, huh? That is quite a bit enough. But and then too, I'm again looking at all this stuff, but also watching what's happening in the world with the gun laws being knocked down, the whole row your boat and wade. That too, that there's something heavy duty that's going on in regards to all of that. Jacob Israel also did a video that he speaks a lot about symbolism and numbers, and it makes so much sense. He spoke his last video, he was speaking about the official portrait of Princess, what's her name? Not Harry. William and Kate. William and Kate. And the outfit that she's wearing is the color green. And that has something significant as far as that pale horse is concerned. I didn't put that video in here, but it's the last video that Jacob Israel did. So check that out and look at that one as well. Also, you remember how I watched a little bit of the Queen's Jubilee, and you know how little excuse me, calling. Let me hurry up before she calls back. Um, anyway, little Louis was cutting up at the Queen's Jubilee, and I remember I was watching some of the clips, and I could see the anguish and the embarrassment on Kate's face when the little boy was just acting up and telling his mama go and do his nose like that, and kind of pushed her face and shutting her mouth and stuff. And I know that she probably wanted this little boy out here, but you know, she's at the cameras are on her and this kid is doing that. And then he spoke about the day that she introduced little Louis to the world. Go back and look at the dress that she was wearing. It was a red dress with the white collar. The dress almost identical. Rosemary's Baby. Is that a symbol? Is that a symbol? And he also mentioned something about the royal family, or they're connected to vampires. And actually, that I did a little bit of research early on, that the prince, Big Daddy, what's his name, Charles, their bloodline is directly related to vampires. I think like Dracula, you know. And then you hear stuff in the past about, you know, sacrifices going on in there, and you know, some little kids escaping out of there. People saying that the queen shapeshifts. They've seen her turn into like a lizard type being. uh, Prince Charles as well, and Prince William as well. I hadn't heard anything about um, little ginger boy shape shifting to anything. But something in the back of my mind thinks there's something to do with this whole mess in the royal family. Why um, Harry picked up his family and they left, and the whole thing about the marriage with what's her name, Meghan and Harry. Because if you do the research and follow the bloodline, they're actually blood related as well. It's something about the bloodline all the way through, and it goes all the way back to that doggone Anunnaki stuff back in Sumeria with these demigods, Enki and Enlil, and this bloodline. I think it has everything to do with it. And it doesn't have anything to do with source God, the creator of the cosmos. It has nothing to do with that being. And it has everything to do with these demigods or extraterrestrial beings or interterrestrial beings that surfaced or came down and manipulated us into what we are today, or food. We were here and a catastrophe had happened, and most of the people were killed off. Again, the history, most people were killed off because of whatever disastrous things happened on the earth. Because if you remember in Genesis, it says in the beginning, it says the world was null, and it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. But if you go back to the Sefer, replace God with the Elohim. Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And right after that, what does it say? And the earth was void and formless and dark. Uh-oh. Something's happened there. Could it have been that there was a disaster and these beings came down to say, uh-oh, some stuff that happened down here. And maybe there were a few survivors that made it through whatever the catastrophe was. And then these beings came down and started terraforming the earth to make it habitable again. And maybe these beings saw them as God. And these beings on milk say, hey, these fools think we're God. Let's milk this. Possibly. I don't know. But I want to know. Anyway, let me get off of here because it's going to be time for me to go put my critters away. But I just wanted to pop in here. Hi, Candy. Nicole. Good to see you, darling. LaShawn. Hi, LaShawn. And Ladashawn Williamson. Welcome. I haven't seen you in before, but welcome to whatever this is. Whatever this is. The King 2829. Hello, good to see you. You're new as well. Yeah. Who else is in here that says there's 21 people in here? Say hi and hit the like and all that jazz. Anyway, thanks for listening to me yesterday kind of vent. As I've mentioned, I've been hit at every direction, and I have to be honest, I was sitting here, why is it happening to me? But it's okay. And when I heard that reading with Soul Whisperer, and thank you again, it just hit every topic that I was experiencing, and it gave me a lot of insight, and a lot of the things that came out in this reading, actually, they're still unfolding even today. More of it is unfolding, and I'm in awe. But I'm just going to go with it and take this divine message lesson and use it to my full advantage. Absolutely. This is an opportunity for deep healing. This is a time for me, and anybody who else resonates with this, to let whatever's holding you back, any hurt feelings, anybody did you wrong or you think they did you wrong, betrayals, anything that you're holding in your heart space. What purpose is that? What purpose is it serving you to hold it there, other than just being a bunch of mess in there that you really can't do anything about? And it's hurtful when that stuff comes up again, like that phone call out of the blue. I hadn't thought about this situation at all. And then when it came back to my memory, it was like somebody had ripped that Band-Aid off, and it was just this, all still there. And when that opened, then it was like every hurt that I've ever felt in my life was just right there on the surface. And it serves no purpose. There's nothing we could do about that. And then when that reading came out, and it said exactly that. All those emotions, all those hurts, the card came out and it showed where like the birds were pecking and pecking and pecking and pecking. And I mentioned that's how I had been feeling too. But we have to just step away from it. Again, there's nothing you can do about it. Just push it aside. Push it aside, and to clear that heart chakra, to clear this area so it's open and ready for what's coming. And I fully believe with every fiber of my being there is good coming, guys. Again, yes, there's going to be some rough times coming ahead, Be prepared, not scared, as much as you can. Put some food away. A lot of people say that's conspiracy theory, and oh, it's not going to get that bad, and you're fear mongering and all of that. Um, Pay attention. Put some things away. Yeah. Be prepared, not scared. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to get off of here. Let's see. Oh, let me see. Matt says Prince Charles purchased Dracula's castle? Really? Wow. And who is this? Miss Matthews. Oh, thank you. I am feeling better. And I wasn't feeling bad last night. It was like it was proper food at the proper time. It was like some medicine that I had to take, and I didn't like the way it tasted at all. But I'm taking it as the catalyst for healing. I like that. Yeah. Anyway, let me get out of here, guys. I'm going to go put my critters away. Thank you again for joining me. Watch those videos. And yeah. Buckle up, but no fear. Anyway, keep your vibrations high. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to put my chickens away. Oh, before I go, hold on. Remember I told you I had all that basil? Let me show you what I did. Hold on. Oh, my bones hurt. Well, I got all that basil and I cleaned it up really nice. And I got some organic coconut oil and I infused organic coconut oil with the fresh basil. I wish you could smell it and taste it. It is so concentrated. You could just use maybe a spoonful for your pasta. Awesome. I'm getting ready to do some more. I harvested more of the basil today, and I found 4 gallons of beefsteak tomatoes from last season, and I'm going to make my famous marinara sauce with the fresh garlic from the garden, the fresh basil from the garden. Those tomatoes came from the garden. All organic wonderfulness. I'm going to make that as well. Anyway, I know I'm making y'all hungry. Till next time, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.